The University of Georgia has a rugby team? We've got the details coming up for you next.
Also coming up on Sportsource, an interview with a UGA track and field team captain.
A lot of position battles, a lot of young talent, and just a lot of excitement here in Athens. And it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds right here, April 15th on G-Day.
Good evening and welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Jack Duffy. We've got a great show for you tonight with coverage all across the Athens area for your sports fill. We start tonight with a story about the oldest University of Georgia club sport on campus, rugby. With more on the rugby team is Wade Cheek.
That's right, Jack. The UGA Rugby Club just finished its 7-on-7 campaign of the 2023 season. Despite falling short of a Southeastern Conference Rugby Championship, this team had a special season. However, rather than talking about the entire team, I want to highlight a trio of Australian members that made a huge impact on this team season. I like to call them the Aussie Boys. When you think of athletics at the University of Georgia, rugby really wouldn't pop into your head, would it? However, 3 Australian-born students were added to the roster of this year's club rugby team at UGA and have made a massive impact. Liam Branley, Tom Roach, and Ben Tuckfield have all brought their homegrown talent for rugby all the way from Australia and have become leaders this season. Rugby in Australia is the equivalent of American football here in the States. The 3 have been playing since they were children, so it wasn't a surprise to see them rise to the top of their American competitors.
It's pretty different. The training's very different setups, the mentality behind it. As you said, it's comparable to football over here back home. So your whole everyone commits their whole Saturday in a friendship group to rugby as they do football over here. So it's been different, but at the same time, everyone here, full credit to these boys. They really get around it. And, it's been good to see.
Ben and Tom are both from Sydney, Australia, and have been playing together since they were children. The 2 recalled playing together back when they were 10 years old. Liam has also been playing rugby since he was a child in the Blue Mountains, which is just outside of Sydney. The 2 didn't meet Liam until they became teammates this spring. However, they both said that Liam quickly became one of their own.
I guess in saying that as well, me and Ben played 10 years together, that it only took a couple of weeks before the 3 of us felt like a dynamic trio. Just whether we're at the training or in a game, we're finding each other everywhere on the field. So it's quite quick to pick up, that Australian connection, but it was, awesome.
I'm here at the University of Georgia intramural fields, where the UGA rugby team has trained since before its season began back in February. According to Branley, the 3 have been able to train for a successful season while growing their relationship between themselves and their teammates.
Yeah, I guess like rugby back home, you're kind of part of family, part of a club, so it's as much on the field as off the field, and these boys definitely brought it off the field as much as they did on, so that kind of just builds camaraderie and I think it was just great.
The UGA rugby season kicked off in February. The Dogs played 6 tournaments. UGA rugby had multiple runs, including a first-place victory in the University of Alabama's 7-on-7 tournament in Tuscaloosa.
We had 2 great trips to Alabama, had some great memories there. We went to South Carolina, Nashville, especially as guys only here for a short term. Really welcoming, really, getting to see great places in America was awesome.
Unfortunately, the Dogs' impressive run ended at the SCRC Championship Tournament in Tuscaloosa last Saturday. They went undefeated in pool play, beating Alabama, South Carolina, and LSU. However, a loss on a last-minute try to Tennessee and a final defeat from Clemson ended Georgia's season.
I think a bit disappointing in the end to come forward. I guess the whole year we're kind of building out to that SCRC to win it.
Despite the disappointing end of their season, the Aussies are proud of what they did all spring and how they led a team to a special season that hasn't happened in a long time for UGA rugby.
But just seeing the improvement from the boys was great. From the start, celebrating coming forward to the end, being so disappointed coming forward, it shows the massive steps these guys made.
Yeah, probably echo that. It was kind of just a bit of on a whim that we ended up out here. I got told about it from one of the other boys and ended up here, and I guess we kind of really bought into the club and the boys here, and it feels like a bit of a family. But as Rosie said, it was a bit disappointing not to win it. Definitely could have, but I think we're leaving Georgia rugby in a better place than it was.
For the Carmical Sports Institute and the University of Georgia, I'm Wade Cheek. While the 7 season is over for UGA rugby, the 15-on-15 season is just getting underway. Unfortunately, the Aussie boys won't be playing, but they will be helping out on the club's coaching staff during the preseason.
Thanks for that, Wade. Seems like the Bulldogs' connection with Australia is stronger than ever, whether it's Brett Thorson punting on the football field or the Aussie boys making an impact for the rugby club. That'll bring us to our first break, but don't go anywhere as I bring in Clay Witt and Destiny Hartwell to break down our match of the week when we return.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sportsource. We turn things over now to our matchup of the week, where Georgia men's tennis, currently ranked 7th in the nation, takes on 5th-ranked South Carolina Gamecocks tonight at 6 p.m. in Columbia, South Carolina. The Bulldogs tout a 14-5 record and an 8-0 start to conference play, while South Carolina is sitting at 17-3 and a 6-2 conference record, looking to climb back into first place in the SEC. Here to break down this matchup is our analysts, Clay Witt and Destiny Hartwell. Clay, I'll start with you. Does Georgia have what it takes to knock off South Carolina and continue its run at perfection in conference?
Yeah, Jack, it's a massive matchup tonight in Columbia for Georgia men's tennis. Confidence is through the roof for them, though. An 8-match all-SEC win streak, currently sitting first in the conference, coming off tight wins against top 20 opponents Tennessee and Kentucky. Traveling to South Carolina will be the team's toughest test of the season. But freshman and #1 court player Ethan Quinn, who's the 3rd-ranked singles player in the nation, is feeling good about the team's chances.
We know that every single guy in every single position can win their match. And even with doubles, we've lost a few doubles points early on in the season, but we all knew that our singles was where we're super strong. So for us to have that trust in each other, even after losing a doubles point, we knew that we could win any match despite being down 1-0 or even despite being down 3-1 like we were against Tennessee. As long as we just keep fighting, keep being tough, and kind of just showing that Georgia toughness that we're historically known for, then we're going to win any match we could play.
Quinn spoke about the doubles point there, and that could be huge if the Bulldogs want to pull off an easier victory compared to last time out against South Carolina, where they had to come back from 1-0 down. Assistant coach Will Reynolds thinks the team has turned the corner after losing the doubles points in previous matches.
You don't want to keep digging that hole, especially against a team like South Carolina and Columbia. I mean, if we lose the doubles point, that just obviously makes that hill a little bit steeper. But again, it's nothing that we haven't done, and I know Ethan and Phil are eager to get another shot at their opponents. So yeah, we got it ready to go. I think our doubles against Kentucky and LSU, or Kentucky and then Arkansas, had showed some improvement. So if we can just continue like we have these last two matches, I think we'll be in good shape.
Georgia has 5 fifth-year seniors on the roster, and Trent Bride is one of them. He delivered the winning point the last time these two teams faced off in the ITA championships back in February. He says he's ready for another tough battle.
Yeah, they're tough. We lost at Dubs Point. We had to win 4 tough singles matches, and hopefully we can get the Dubs Point. I think that's going to be huge for this match. If we can get the Dubs Point, that'll definitely take some weight off of our shoulders. But even if we don't, we know that we can do it, and we look forward to playing a tough match against them, especially at their place. We know that historically is a tough match playing at their place. They have a great record at home. So we're just going to go and play as tough as we can and hope for the best.
Jack, with a win against the Gamecocks, the top 5 would be calling, and an undefeated conference season will only be 3 matches away.
Thanks for that, Clay. After winning a few top 25 matchups at home, it'll be interesting to see if the Bulldogs can take that level of play and poise with them on the road in a tough environment. Which brings me to you, Destiny. What can Georgia expect out of this South Carolina team in this pivotal SEC match?
Those Gamecocks are definitely coming in with a chip on their shoulder to redeem themselves this go-round. With South Carolina being 17-3 on the season and 6-2 in conference play, this has them sitting at the number 5 spot going into this top 10 matchup this week. The highest they've ever been ranked so far this season has been number 2. The last time these two teams played each other was first round of the ITA Indoor National Championships, where then number 13 Georgia narrowly defeated the then number 8 Gamecocks 4-3. In that matchup, the Gamecocks took the doubles point, but the Bulldogs were able to come back and take 4 of the 6 singles matches to get the victory. A couple key players to keep an eye out for are juniors Toby Samuel and Connor Thompson. As of right now, both Samuel and Thompson are ranked in the top 15 for ITA singles. Samuel is number 6 and Thompson is number 11. Samuel has led the team this season as the singles from the number 1 position. The junior is 21-4 overall with a 16-3 mark in dual play and 6-1 mark against other SEC opponents. He has 12 wins over ranked opponents so far this season, including 2 in the top 10. Thompson, on the other hand, has been South Carolina's primary number 2 player this season. He has an overall record of 28-5 with a 15-3 mark in dual play and a 6-1 mark against other SEC opponents. He is coming into this weekend's matchup with a 4-match singles win streak and recently earned his 100th career singles win as a Gamecock after defeating Ole Miss on the road last week. They have held the number 1 spot in the rankings for 7 consecutive weeks this season and have a 20-1 overall record together. They are 13-1 in dual play, all from that number 1 spot, and have a perfect 6-0 mark against SEC opponents. This duo right here, Jack, is on an 11-match win streak together. South Carolina wins well when they have home court advantage, so it'll be interesting to see the outcome of this very paramount SEC matchup. Back to you, Jack.
Still to come on Sportsource. Our reporter Wynn Andrews takes a lap with the UGA track and field captain.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sportsource. We turn our attention now to the track, as Ellie Hall, one of UGA's track and field leaders, gets set to compete in the annual Spec Towns and Torrin Lawrence Invitational. Wynn Andrews got the chance to talk with the runner to discuss the upcoming event.
Ellie Hall is a senior distance runner for UGA's track and field team in the spring, and she also runs for the cross-country team in the fall. Her ability to lead in multiple sports has earned her a position as team captain of the women's track and field team the past 2 seasons. With UGA's annual Spec Towns and Torrin Lawrence Invitational being held this weekend, I was able to speak with Hall about individual and team goals as her team looks to defend home territory.
For the most part, Ellie, this is a very important track meet, Spec Towns Track Invitational. What do you have to say that your team has been doing to prepare for this meet as you're in the midst of a very important track season?
Yes, so this meet, it's still early in the season, so we're really using it as just the first step in a long training process to work on technique, to get some fast times in early, and just to have fun with people that are here.
So you said that you were in the beginning of the season. It is a very long, extensive season that extends all the way into May. What are some things that you would say that are your favorite parts about being able to travel all over the place and see all these different universities?
Yes, that's actually my favorite thing.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just to travel. We're going to California next week, and I'm really excited about that. I've heard that's a meet I've always wanted to run at, and so I'm really lucky that I get to go. But yeah, that's my favorite part, is just traveling, getting to see everything, and getting to compete with the best.
So what are your personal goals headed into this invitational beginning tomorrow? I know we talked about the track team altogether, but what are you gearing up for?
So I'm also using this as a training block, but my goal is always to PR, to run a personal best. Going into tomorrow, we had a training session last Friday that was very similar and was trying to simulate kind of a PR performance, so that's what I'm hoping for tomorrow.
Gotcha. So run me through a normal day of track practice. We're obviously here right now. You can hear the coaches in the background. Run me through what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, so it's different per day, but usually on Mondays we'll start off with easy running in the morning, a lift in the afternoon, and then some technical work after our lift session. Tuesdays and Fridays are for interval work, tempo work, just more intensity and more velocity on the track usually, and then Saturdays are our long runs, and then Sundays are usually recovery days where we'll get in maybe a walk or bike.
Okay, so you are a leader in practice considering you are a team captain and you have been for track and field for the past 2 seasons. What does it mean to you to hold such an important role in such an important setting?
Yes, it means a lot. I'm really honored to be voted team captain. I love pouring into just my teammates. I love being able to communicate with my coaches, and I like to just hold each other accountable so that we can perform the best that we, like, up to our potential,
Absolutely. So being a senior now, you only have a few months left. Let's dive back into the beginning, as you've been team captain the last 2 seasons, have been here since freshman year. What gave you this passion to want to pursue cross country in the fall, track and field in the spring? That's a lot of running.
It is, and I love running. That's why.
Easy enough, easy enough.
But yes, I don't know. I've always enjoyed surprising myself and seeing just what I can do. And I think this sport, you push your body to its limits, and it, like, being able to surprise myself and do better than I thought is just so rewarding.
So a question always on my mind, with a dual threat, cross country and track, which one's your favorite?
That's hard. I like both. Maybe
I'm putting you on the spot here
maybe
too.
right
This
now,
one's
track.
track. Okay. In season makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Okay, well, perfect. So, is there any added emphasis that you would have to say for, protecting your home track as these other teams kind of come into Athens starting tomorrow?
Yeah, we just want to show out, show him he's the best. So that's it.
Short and sweet, easy enough. Anything else that you would like to say, to really leave a lasting impact? What would you have to say is your main goal as you wind down these last few months?
My main goal is always just to do the best that I can, 100% effort all the time, and finish strong.
The Spec Townsend Lawrence Invitational concludes in Athens on Saturday, but UGA's track and field season stretches into May when the SEC Outdoor Championships are held. Until then, Ellie Hall plans to soak in the remainder of her collegiate career week by week and meet by meet. Back to you, Jack.
Thanks for that win. Seems like UGA track and field has a strong leader amongst its ranks. We're going to take a break. When we return, I bring in our analysts to give their insight on which dogs to look out for this weekend at the Masters.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Yesterday, one of golf's greatest traditions got underway as the world's best golfers teed it up at Augusta National for this year's edition of the Masters. Not only is the tournament held in the great state of Georgia, but this year's tournament field features 8 former UGA golfers, all vying for a shot at the green jacket. While Bubba Watson is the only former Bulldog to ever win the event, as he did so in 2012 and 2014, UGA has been known to produce great results on the PGA Tour. With the tournament being halfway to Sunday, there's still plenty of golf to be played. Joining me now are my analysts Claire Chen, Clay Witt, and Destiny Hartwell to make picks on which former dogs they believe have the best chance of donning the green jacket come Sunday evening. In this segment, we call Dogs in the Hunt. Claire, I'll start with you. What dog are you taking?
The Augusta National Golf Course has always been the hardest to play, and it's so hard to tell which dog will do better. But I'll go for Chris Kirk this time. He's currently ranked 32nd in the world and won the Honda Classic by beating Eric Cole in the playoff at the end of February. Kirk also finished in the top 10 at the last tournament before the Masters, so this shows that he has been playing pretty well lately. And yesterday they just finished the first round. He's 2 under, ranked number 15, which is the best of the 8 Bulldogs.
Thanks, Clay. Now we're going to toss it over to Clay. Clay, who's your dark horse dog to win the green jacket?
Yeah, Jack. My dark horse is Sepp Straka, the most recent graduate, back in 2016. He's been playing some pretty good golf lately. Currently ranked 33rd in the world, Straka has taken part in 14 tournaments this season, coming away with 3 top 10 finishes and 2 top 5s. He said in pre-tournament interviews that his game is trending up and he feels good about it. And after a slow start with a double bogey on 1 and finishing the front 9 3 over par, his round started to trend up as well, birdieing 5 holes in a row on the back 9. He ended 2 under par. So I'm feeling good about Sep, at least to make the weekend and represent the Bulldogs well.
Good stuff, Clay. Thanks for that. Now over to Destiny for our final pick. Destiny, which former Georgia golfer do you believe has the best chance of being top dog come Sunday evening?
Jack, my dog in the fight is Harris English. This 2011 UGA grad has had some great finishes in the past few seasons and I think is a favorite to go far, if not win it all. Due to injury, this is Harris's first Masters appearance since 2021. But prior to his surgery, he won twice on the PGA Tour in 2021, finished third in the U.S. Open, and was a member of the winning United States team in the Ryder Cup that year too. His career high in the world has been ranking number 10. So far in the tournament, he's finished the first round with 4 birdies, 11 on par, and 3 bogeys. He finished round 1, T26, and 1 under par. So I'm feeling really good about my pick, Jack. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Destiny. Some solid picks from our team on who to look out for come Sunday afternoon. If it were up to me, though, I think I'd agree with Clay and take Sepp Straka. The Austrian Olympian has an up-and-down season to start the year, but his start so far at the Masters has me believing he can get the job done come Sunday. We're going to take a break, but when we return, Cole Acock previews Georgia's spring football game.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Georgia football spring practice is well underway, and the reigning national champions know that a championship-caliber team is built starting in the spring. The Bulldogs begin their title defense next Saturday during its spring scrimmage known as G-Day. Here to preview the game, our reporter, Cole Acock.
Thanks, Jack. As you can see behind me, I am in Sanford Stadium, the home of the back-to-back national champion Georgia Bulldogs. The road to Georgia's 2 natties were paved in this very stadium as Georgia had games against teams such as Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, and most notably Tennessee last season. However, next Saturday, April 15th, Georgia will not be facing off against another school. However, they will be playing against each other in a game these people like to call G-Day here in Athens. Yes, red team versus black team for bragging rights, and there are a lot of storylines to keep an eye on as we get closer to G-Day. The most notable one is the quarterback battle between the 3 quarterbacks, Carson Beck, Gunnar Stockton, and Brock Vandegrift. Big shoes to fill now that Stetson Bennett is gone. He's looking to get drafted in the NFL, but these 3 guys are looking to take the reins for that quarterback job. Carson Beck is rumored to be the favorite to land this quarterback battle as he is the most experienced quarterback. He has been in the program the longest, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares in between the hedges next Saturday. The other 2 quarterbacks, Vandegrift and Stockton, they will need to separate from one another if they want to push Beck and challenge him for that job. It's rumored that the odd man out of this quarterback competition could transfer, so a lot of drama to be held. We'll see how it all unfolds on G-Day. Another storyline is freshman linebackers and talent. You got Raylan Wilson, you got C.J. Allen, and guys like A.J. Harris who are raring to get on that field and see if they can contribute as freshmen. They saw freshmen like Michael Williams contribute to the team that won the national championship, so they want to see if they can be that next big freshman. And then, of course, is the DBs. With Keely Ringo going off to the NFL, it's now to see who can replace him and be opposite of Kamari Lassiter. It'll be most likely a battle between Dalen Everett, Julian Humphrey, and Nyland Green. A lot of position battles, a lot of young talent, and just a lot of excitement here in Athens. And it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds right here, April 15th on G-Day.
Thanks for that, Cole. Lots of interesting storylines for the back-to-back national champions this spring. We'll see how it all plays out next week. That's all we've got for you this week. Be sure to tune into our match of the week tonight at 6 p.m. when Georgia men's tennis goes on the road to take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. Have a great weekend and come back next week as we break down G-Day further on Sportsource. Good night, everybody.